Greetings, this is me again, Sarah Jawad. I cannot do a video. I want to do a short video on my findings and also my thoughts, sharing my thoughts. Um, Maybe I think some people are cruel, even though they've been through tragic things. So I just feel they're very cruel themselves because they don't realize there are people who can't even get out of bed, can't talk properly. There are many mentally challenged people. So, as I was thinking of a interview I have seen, I started to wonder. This is me. You may think I'm also cruel. Well, I'm also cruel, and so to get myself also out of this cruelty, where I have been cruel at times, and I have to start again with nothing, nothing, nothing. So, the success stories of yours and mine. Well, I have failed miserably to be a good person. So, trying. And as for inspiring people, it's very good. But don't judge others when, they cannot get up or they're not like you. I feel it's very cruel to judge other people, right? Right. So, to say that there are people who can't get up, and I'd struggled with my English to even bring my message out. I was ashamed and all this. So, but if we say that others, not the toxic people, the ones who judge us and to feel sorry for us, but like get on with your life now, get on with this, see me like, you know, as a normal person, it just doesn't sound very sincere to me. Didn't sound sincere. There was one particular person, and of course that Rahim Yar Khan really got to me. Also that Yusuf Zaidi and the Farah thing came, and the hard feeling came back. The hard-heartedness, the cruelty in me came when I was mentally ill, in a very like a low state, being attacked very much more often than I am here. No, like yes, yes, yes. I couldn't stand still and all that for many years. So struggling with my English and how will I, how will I explain? My father could understand. Uh, go for a walk, get your thoughts out of the way. If you go for a walk, I couldn't walk properly. I couldn't think straight and all this. So, saying that we are such an inspiration to others since we have a success story, it could be that because of in Pakistan, I didn't see any NGO, anyone, not even, you know, right now we have TED Talks and I wouldn't be there. Sorry, because I can't talk properly. I can't even have a live stream with Mr. Arif Ajakia or someone asks me, or no one will ask me. So you see, this is the thing. Very cruel. How cruel can we be? Like this is amazing in the name of inspiration and all this. How cruel can we be? Maybe your circumstances, your mother was behind this, or your brothers were understanding. There are some people lying in bed starving, mentally ill, can't talk properly, and you're going to say to them, what you a message you're giving out is that you're judging them by saying that I had to get up and this and that, and now you don't see me like that. It's just I have no see. I'm struggling with words, whereas these people who come on with their success stories don't struggle with words. They've lived in Pakistan and they know English properly. I've studied in London. I have a law degree, and I don't know how to speak properly because of the traumatized, because of deteriorating my English, my mental health, my physical health. So this kind of a thing. How cruel can we be? I just very very cruel. Another thing is that if you're going to push me into believing in Islam and retaining this, and you're going to say that I'm disrespectful to Prophet Muhammad and Imams, Imam Hussein, and all that, well, I had to struggle. I have to be hither and thither finding words. Fee, what is fee in heaven? What is be then? Be is in or what? Struggling like this in this state. Because you see, I showed in my previous videos, live streams, that I just shared a few things that I cannot rely, trust on the Imams for information or interpretation of the Quran ayats. So I had to do it myself, and this was, and I have feelings. After all, I have cruelty, a cruel streak in me. I have everything in me. I have anger in me. I have frustrations in me. I have distress in me. So the anger comes out. Uh, I really want to say that I hate this false prophet. I hate him. But I can't say that because you wouldn't allow me to say that. Where am I now here? Love of God, love of God. Don't they love one another as they love God? Interdependency is there. And if God sends someone to care for you, you would say, oh, God has sent, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, but that person you are taking for granted. That's how ungrateful you become. Because most of the times you're thanking God and you're not thanking that person who lovingly cared for you, gave up. I know a person who gave up her life. She didn't think that she was sacrificing her life. But she was with her niece when, you know, her father was going out celebrating in a wedding, their own house wedding. She wouldn't come out of the room. She just came out a little bit. She was perhaps requested much, persistently to come out. So maybe some also like she cared. So before I lose my point, another one is coming. That where am I now? I want to see myself here. I'm here. So I have a cruel streak too. I'm sorry. This is the way it is. If you don't like it, leave. But don't push me into this religion saying that I have to respect your prophet. After all, what he has done, that I can see, misguiding people, lying, snatching haq away from the pagan idol worshippers, from the Jews, from the Christians, marrying their women, killing their fathers, brothers, husbands, taking them captive. Did I share this on my? Maybe this will be twice, and they'll say, oh, the schizophrenic is causing trouble. Sharing it again on Facebook. How I forget, you see? Twice I must have shared on Facebook now on my profile. Wouldn't it be better if you don't know, say you don't know? Rather, no, 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 we know that this prophet is a true prophet and please respect him. Otherwise, we're not coming here or we're going to kill you. You have a heart or what? For you, it's okay because he married Zainab bin Josh, adopted sons. That's okay. The marriage ends. That's okay. But respect our prophet. He married Safia bint Huway. That's okay for you. You don't even know the history behind it. You're just looking through your very good history, beautiful. How cruel can you people be? Yes, I know that sometimes even I do this, that I don't see. The Yemeni children are starving to death. I'm not going, oh my God, when I saw, I was reminded, what am I doing every day here? About my case, my condition. I'm so selfish. My story must go out. Someone please help me. God knows what's happening to our family, what these Pakistanis did. Shia Pakistani Sayyid with Maiman, Abdul Qadir Jilani's follower, came to my house, told me that it's not a. They messed up my case. They gave me such a bad pain later on. The pain started in my sleep, excruciating pain. No one wants to. Oh, what do you care? You've got your success story out there, and you're judging the people who may not be able to talk properly, may not be in your condition afterwards, after your accident. I do. If I would choose Anita Murjani, but if she says that now get on with your life and see us, she doesn't say it that way. A very seasoned lady. This means, in other words, you're judging those people who cannot even talk, who don't have their success stories out, because maybe they're Khoja Sindhi in Pakistan and not the Punjabis like you, who've had a better education so that you can even talk in English. Your head was not blasted, you know? What if you had brain damage? What would you do then? Maybe if your mother is strong, lady, she would have gotten someone, even hired someone to talk for you. How cruel can you people be? Really, Pakistanis have had enough. So now, how many minutes have gone? 14. Back to the religion, please. I'm not going to, I have to do my own research through blood and sweat. And Yusuf Zedi couldn't help me. They went to London. What kind of a person is this selfish man? And his wife from Rahim Yar Khan, making me hard-hearted. Interdependency to hai. Whether even a Hindu tells me today I stopped Paramahamsa's live stream. Love God more. What he's trying to say, that ayat from the Quran, I will prove him wrong. I will even prove what he's saying, which reminds me of this Arabic, this Islam. You can give him many donations, Muslims. I'm going to prove this ayat wrong. I tell you, it is better to love a weakling, a human being, than love God. God doesn't need your love. I don't know where these Vishwanites come from. God doesn't need your love. It's humanity here that needs our love. We need to love each other, and we are interdependent. So I choose humanity. And if spirituality has become crap, I'm sorry, I'm going to leave it. I'll be changing. I'm exploring things. Let's see. I don't know. I might not even, I might leave Hindus altogether just for the information. Love God, love God, love God. No, love the simple things, be grateful, and then maybe through that, love each other. Love each other. God doesn't need our love. God must have manifested all this for us to love each other. And how do we bring that love so that even I was contemplating in London, how do we bring this love that we not only Mrs. Munira Gulzar, my ex-principal, one person is the object of my desire. When the Fifth Mountain, Paulo Coelho's book, came about, it reminded me of that Bible story where, uh, you know, he was sent, Elijah or Elisha was sent for one lady to cure one lady's son. Like Muslim ibn Aqil, when he went to Kufa, only one lady gave him um refuge, shelter, took care of him against all odds of the, we are told, Ziyad Ibn Ziyad, Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad's, army and the things going on there, threats against Muslim ibn Aqil. Like Hazrat Musa in the Quran ayat, Surah Taha, we find, or some other ayat, sorry, in the Quran, that he did not accept the wet nurses. He did not accept the feeding of the other wet nurses. But when they started to go around and find women who could be a wet nurse to him, and they found his own mother, who disguised herself, who wouldn't reveal her true identity, that she's the mother of Moses. Started to feed him, and then he accepted that. When you are a child, when you are an infant, does God's breast come out to feed you? Or is your mother the one feeding you milk? Or if you, God forbid, are an orphan, become an orphan, your mother leaves you, then someone would have to look for a wet nurse for you. Who is feeding you? So many misguide. Many people have misguided us, even the gurus are misguiding us. They are influenced by this religion, Islam. Although they keep idols and all that, but you know what is Radharani's love? This person, you will become like Sri Dama. You are Sri Dama. Don't put love before what Radharani must have taught you, but forget that for now. You are Sri Dama then. You are following this verse in the Quran. You are half Muslim with idol worshipping. You are a imposter in disguise. And God knows who has donated what to you that you have become an imposter in disguise. So back to the religion thing, when everything failed, when my own imams had failed, I had to go through a great deal of distress, heartbroken, a retreat from Imam Hussein, um, uh, start from nothing, try at least. My feelings would come up, my anger would come up, my mad streak would come up, my cruel streak would come up. But I had to do it. I had to search because I have to burn all my bridges. Otherwise, one side of my no, no, Zahra, the soft sides, Allah, martyrs, Imam Hassan did this. Then I have to go back there. My father says, "Oh, why don't you come for Ashura? Why can't you get up?" Another person, cousin says, "Why did you not come?" No, no. Even physically challenged are coming for the Ashura Shias. Some of them I've seen, one of them in my own community. So this kind of thing goes on. Um, where my where are my glasses again? Uh, I came here to say how cruel can we be, really? Some people don't get a chance to rise above. I had told myself, rise above petty things. I couldn't rise above fighting a witch invincible. Some people, we still haven't healed completely. Any Anyone who wants to say anything here now? Let me see if you want to throw stones at me in an indirect manner now. You tried it enough here. So it's surprising that even Hindus have become uh, imposters. You see here, I don't know what B is or what fee means in, or what B means and what this means. The interpretation, it is open because imams, I see some uh, a failure in imams explaining of certain verse. I saw it, I showed you, I shared it with you. Uh, so I have to do my own research now, and it's something that I'm allowed here, but they're not, they may be hitting me indirectly, making it life difficult, testing me in my insanity. So they're showing that, that Muslim wife of my brother is better, who says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And my brother who abuses because he can't take it anymore. He's been through a lot and needs a true assalamu alaikum. Not like you say it from your mouth, but you don't mean it. He needs a true assalamu alaikum. And he hasn't found that. Unfortunately, his wife was a liar too. If, he bla- if she blames him for lying to her, then I would say blame yourself also for lying to us and the UAE. Illegally, she was living here. So we found out very late. So, Assalamu alaikum. I don't mean to be like, let's be sincere in our salam. Here we have, okay, in Tur, it is perhaps open to interpretation, But you know what Allah is in His eyes. Maybe you are in our eyes, in our eyes, meaning you are under over how God puts it in other ways in the Quran. And but the Baha'is took it maybe from this verse that God has manifested his attributes and all this. Where when you read Imam Ali, the Baha'is put themselves in trouble by they got enlightenment through these verses, and so you're not supposed to if you put God in a place or thing, Imam Ali, then you got yourselves into trouble, right, Bob? And the Shia clerics killed him, assassinated him, executed him in Iran. And the Baha'is are still persecuted in Iran. I don't know how far that is true, but I've heard and seen on YouTube, read also in the articles, Google search, things like that. So it's not easy. I spent many, many years detecting where is my, because I was shaken up when I see people pointing fingers at others, but they don't see their own faults. There was a girl in our Karachi American school. She had lost two brothers in a car accident, but she did not gain that mercy and sympathy and understanding of heart. Like, I was shocked. One of her brother was in my class. We were together in class, right? And then he had an accident. And she came dashing towards me like just came on my face one day, one night, and Karachi American School and Miss Asteria Desan, you are a lesbian and all this. So even a tragedy does not make your heart or your brothers losing two brothers, and she herself was polio. She had polio. God knows I was shocked. So maybe because when we feel like we're not supposed to, I don't think she's supposed to do this when I'm not a lesbian. Then ended up calling Miss Dissa, and she said that she went to Gule has now become Gule went back to Karachi American School, became an aide teacher there, teacher's aide. She had graduated earlier, and then she had disappeared. I didn't know where she was. But then when I left Karachi American School in 1989, she was back to Karachi American School, uh, aide teacher. As an aide teacher, she went back. And then Miss Dissa, thank God Miss Dissa was talking to me over the phone. So I said, Gule said that I'm a lesbian and all this on my face. Coming, I was at a friend brother's graduation. He had invited me. So Miss Disa spoke to Gule, and then she was telling me that good that you called me again. I was looking for your brother. My brother was in Karachi American School, Zuhair, then in 1989, so that she could convey to my brother, but she couldn't call me. I had to call her back. So she said, I was looking for your brother Zuhair to tell him that I've told Gule, I've spoken to Gule about this. Person is not lesbian, and you haven't left her in 1989. We got separated after 1983. 84, beginning April, somewhere. 84, still people talking about this and all this. The Pakistanis are very toxic, sick culture. They have very sick culture. Most of them, hard-hearted, cruelty. So we don't see our own faults. We just try to blame the other person very quickly in to another. So please keep your at least we're after the truth. So if you care about the truth, I had to look at the Yazid side also. Do you think Imam Hussein? I left my teacher for Imam Hussein for Islam. इतना तो मैंने भरम रखा. Okay, maybe for your security, your peace. I'm looking for the overall truth, the universal truth. I'm a truth searcher. I've said this again and again. If you care enough, and then of course you will. I have a cruel streak in me too. So I have my feelings, I have prejudices, but when it comes to this, we are not going to bring our prejudices, and even the love for Imam Hassan, we're not going to bring here. Forget respect, that rank, that position in our hearts. We used to hold Imam Hassan like an oppressed. You have no idea. I don't know how to explain it. No American will even accept me in their, TED talks or anything like that. Pakistanis are very sharp and even undergoing a accident, they can speak great English. They are as cruel and very willpower, you know, the mother or someone backing willpower, willpower. I have no sympathies for such cruel people, whether they go through accident or whatever they go through. Serves you right, I see. Now I'm very, very angry. This Muniba Mazari I found really selfish and very cruel hearted person. So I may also come in. I've thought about this. I don't, I could lose my arm, my head. I mean, I've already lost a lot of my head to mental illness. So I wanted to make a video, excuse me, so I couldn't make a video. Why am I doing this? To prick on you, to pick on you, Muslims? Am I doing this to get your galis, abuse against my mother, against. Am I doing this for what? What am I doing this for? To risk my life? The UAE government is not going to leave me. Against my mother, against. Sorry, I've come here seeing if, just checking if there are any comments here. You want to abuse me, my mother, my father, or indirectly now through the UAE government, you can complain to, and they already know this. And they're not going to leave me. Every step of the way, they have been testing me. It's not like they're leaving me here to enjoy the money and comfort that they have given me. Until I do this, they're not going to leave me. But you don't see yourselves that Prophet Muhammad brought a revolution and disturbed the pagan idol worship culture thing and got them out, saying that I was expelled by them. I was expelled. Some Muslims with me were expelled. But Imam Ali was there sleeping on his bed. Which Muslim was expelled? When he left Makkah. And where is all this history coming from? The Muslims. And you have lied so much, and our Islamic scholars, and so lying. And you expect me not to get angry, not to disrespect you. Look at your own, the Quran verses say that those who lie, where are they going? So, what if I'm proving to you because I found it? I found an insight, it's a complete thing inside of me. I'm showing you. Whichever of you wants to learn, let me see how many of you are truly sympathetic, understanding hearts. How many of you care for the truth and truth alone, not what your forefathers believed in or your mother and your father believed in? Like my mother and my father believed in Imam Hussein and all this. So, and much when my mother was quite well. Later on, we were losing our minds and all this. But now, purely on the text also, and then where hadith is absolutely necessary to take recourse to, or the life of the Prophet Muhammad. Because the Quran does not give us details even about the life of the Prophet Muhammad from the beginning to the end. But it says, then people back it up by saying that although it is a detailed book explaining things, it doesn't explain about that great messenger who is over or in the eyes or in front of, under the eyes of. I cannot say that. You see, I can't say under the eyes. I can't change the translation of the Quran. Ayat. You can, I can't. You have the heart to do it, you do it. You want me to say something which mistranslations have come up? I'm not going to say it. And you don't understand it, you're confused because before you have, what is this? Each other conflict between Shia and Sunni. When I feel a true religion would not bring about any conflict, any hypocrisy. Even the hypocrite will. There's a dua here. Where's the dua? Which dua was for? These poor people, but they still hang on to Prophet Muhammad. Don't say anything to Prophet Muhammad. There's a dua that you can recite and then pray for the hypocrites even. I don't know which dua is Samat or in dua. You can pray for your Shia hypocrites even, after the dua. Or in the dua is a part, just as the dua that in the end, it says, pray for the hypocrites. I don't know if it's here, but it was in my book that Yusuf Zedi took and then messed it up upside down, put some of the ayats inside out. Dua, sorry. The book he took, my dua book, he messed it up. So this dua was in that book, Dua Samad. Let's see if this has the prayer. In the end, the imams tell us to pray for the sick, recovery, well-being to the sick, faithful women. Here it is. Respond to the law. You are full of knowledge of all things. Um, I beseech you, Allah, recovery and well being to the sick, faithful men and women, bliss and clemency to the living, faithful men and women, remit remit the sins of, and have mercy on the deceased, faithful men and women, and arrange the return of all faithful travelers with safety and gain. By your mercy, O most merciful of all those who have shown mercy. Um, May Allah send blessings to our Master Muhammad, the seal of the prophets, and upon his household, the purified. It doesn't say. Sheikh Ibn Fahad says that it is recommended to say the following prayer after Dua al Samad. O Allah, I beseech you in the name of the sacredness of this prayer, deep meanings of these names, more comprehensive, save you. It doesn't pray for the hypocrites, but they're like this, seeks to do injustice to me and my wife, exact vengeance for me on everyone who hatches secret plots against me, on everyone who oppresses me, seeks to do injustice to me, my wife, my mother, I used to, like my principal, and her children and her family members, my brothers, my neighbors, and my relatives, among faithful men and women. Verily, you have power to do whatever you will to do. So there was I beseech you to grant wealth and affluence to the indigent, faithful, sick. Even praying for neighbors, wicked neighbors. Next, to provide me with the good of this world and the next world. I beseech you by Rasulullah and his progeny pure, and none knows their implicit, explicit meanings. Oh yes, Sheikh al-Majlisi has quoted Sayyid ibn Baqi as saying in Al-Misbah that the following supplicatory prayers advisably said after Dua al-Simat, right? So like this, there was, even in this, I think it was in this Dua al-Samat, that you could pray for the hypocrites even. See, like this. Save me from the trouble of wicked men, wicked neighbors, wicked companions, wicked rulers. Really, you have power over all that. So many times I've read this dua, but Yusuf said he won my enemy won. But okay, that's okay. I'm struggling, it hurts. I've lagged behind many, many years. That's okay. So, why did the Baha'i say? Could it be due to Surah Tur? That so starting from your manifestations of God are directly linked with the Baha'i concepts of progressive revelation and the unity of religion. Shias, it would mean that the Imams thereafter and all that. The Baha'i concept of intermediary between God and humanity is expressed in the term manifestation of God. Baha'i believe in a single imperishable God, the creator of all things, including all creatures and forces in the universe. So Shia, 12 Shias, ask yourselves, like Sunnis, uh, have we misunderstood the Baha'is? Like Sunnis have misunderstood us? Could we have misunderstood the Baha'is? So this is why I had to ask myself this and go through their teachings in depth. Baha'is believe that God expresses this will at all times and in many ways, including through a series of divine messengers referred to as referred to as manifestations of God. Is creation and manifestation the same? In expressing God's intent, these manifestations are seen to establish religion in the world. The manifestations of God are not seen as incarnations of God, as God cannot be divided and does not descend to the condition of his creatures. But they are also not seen as ordinary mortals. Instead, the Baha'i concept of a manifestation of God emphasizes the simultaneously existing qualities of humanity and divinity. In station of divinity, they show forth the will, knowledge, and attributes of God. In the station of humanity, they show the physical qualities of common man. So they are explaining very well. Like if we come across a verse like in Surah Tur 48, that this prophet is in our eyes, God says. A common Baha'i analogy used to explain the relationship between the manifestation of God and God is that of a perfect mirror, and God is that of a perfect mirror. Perfect mirror. A manifestation of God is that of a perfect mirror. This is the relationship. In the analogy, God is likened to the sun, the source of physical life on earth. Likened. You see, these poor Baha'is say this, likened to a sun, kill the Bab. I can see where the 12 Shias went after the Bab. And why now? The source of physical life on earth. The spirit and attributes of God are likened to the rays of the sun. Likened. What does Imam Ali say? Don't liken God to anything, otherwise you will go into polytheism and kufr. And the manifestations of God are likened to perfect mirrors reflecting the rays of the sun. Thus, the manifestations of God act as pure mirrors that reflect the attributes of God onto this material world. You would say, how is Rasulullah the light of God, a created light? So Baha'is try to explain, and they are more better in explaining this. So the 12 Shias have put them into gharq, executed Bob. They are God knows, blaspheming. You see, if I go to multilingual Quran, recently I read Shams. What the 12 Shias say that the is sun is likened to Muhammad, Qamar, and moon to Imam Ali, but not God. These are not attributes of God, because Imam Ali has said not to take these attributes and how to take the attributes of God in Najul Balagha. Where is Shams? Not the Rumi Shams. Where's Surah Shams? Now here it takes. I can't find it. What number is it? Shura, Zukhan, Jatiya. Marriage. I read Takwir, Muttafifin, Buruj, Ala Fajr Shams. 91. I found it. So here, by the sun and his glorious splendor, glorious in brackets, Yusuf Ali has put. Uh, what is the commentary? Muddathir 32 to 35 for calling in evidence the signs which manifest Allah's glory. For verses 1 to 6, see commentary of Muddathir 32 to 35 for calling in evidence the signs which manifest Allah's glory. Calling in evidence the signs which manifest Allah's glory, wisdom, and might in nature, by which the cosmic harmony is maintained. So far, man's knowledge about the physical aspect of the sun is limited, but there is no doubt that it is a source of light for us. The moon follows as or acts as substitute to the sun for illuminating our world with the reflected light and therefore may be called the sun's vicegerent. Aka Medipuya says, Dalla means to follow a thing or person as a principal source in consequence of total adherence. The follower derives his strength from him who is followed. The follower derives his strength from him who is followed. See commentary of Hud, Ayat 17. Some commentators some commentators say that the sun stands for the Holy Prophet and the moon represents Ali ibn Abu Talib. Day and night are periods of time. See, they've had to. Some see such a confusion. Some commentators say that the sun stands for. How does he stand for the Holy Prophet? God knows. This has not been explained to me. The regulated harmony in the outer space controlled, like by the moon as she follows. But this is what was important here. So the Sunnis who are to blame us for saying that the sun stands for the Holy Prophet. They're saying the sun. Some commentators, the Shia commentators, say that the sun stands for the Holy Prophet and the moon represents Ali ibn Abu Talib. Not all here. It's a mistake. Anyways, so confused and since this book blames so deeply and harshly and strictly the idol pagan worshippers, uh, they were impure, and from this side comes that they expelled the prophet. This is about his life, that they expelled him from his hometown and his home, the pagan idol worshippers. But you see, when uh, you try to put one and one together, then that in Surah Muzammil or Surah Mudathir, arise, he had to arise and warn. He brought a revolution. So it does not stand to logic. He had to, wasn't he going around saying to the idol worshippers, come here? He was harassing them. He had come, arise and warn. It's a command from from Allah. Al Mudathir, in Surah Al Mudathir, we are told, alert Muhammad to a changing environment. Revolution is coming, from which he is charged with saving mankind. Arise and give warning. Wikipedia, thank you for putting it so that we can see directly what it means. So we don't go dilly dallying, making excuses. It's very, very straightforward. And in Wikipedia, someone has even given it straight up. And then he is blaming the idol worshippers for what would you do now? Wouldn't the UAE government throw me, execute me? What are you doing? The UAE government is going to give me a very hard time, won't allow me. Many, they've deported. If an Indian says something, Hindu, against Islam, they deport. Even if a Shia says, like brings in some politics or something, I'm told she will be deported back. I don't know how I've survived here, but maybe because they know I'm completely drained. My blood is I'm losing blood. I'm losing energy. So what will this weakling do? We will give her a hard time. Once she gets up, we'll knock her down. Because my brother is not under my eyes. He's in Sharjah. God knows what they're doing to him. And this watching feeling like someone is watching him. So they have an upper hand over me. What can this weakling do? Yeah, let her make some live streams and then we will see her. We will squeeze her more, the little ounce of energy that is left in her, we will squeeze it out. Don't worry, Muslims. So you can do this because your messenger of Allah did it to the pagan idol worshippers. Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Jami al-Tirmidhi, Musnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal, etc. Although reports exist of revelation order other than second, the thematic elements of preparation for the Day of Judgment and warnings for the non believers are consistent with other early Makkan surahs. According to Sayyid Qutb's exegesis, the first verses of this surah, as well as those of Surah 73, represent Muhammad's earliest revelations and those which prepare him for the ordeal of revelation. And what is the ordeal of revelation? Surat al Mudathir structure is structured, composed major themes. If verses 1 refers to Muhammad al Muttadir or cloak to one, you wrapped in your cloak, then the second verse serves to alert Muhammad to a changing environment. Changing the environment is to a changing environment from which he is charged with saving mankind. What does he do? He has to arise and give warning to the disbelievers. Verses 3-7 are injunctions, then, injunctions. laws. Then for him, what does injunction mean? Then for him or whoever follows the righteous path of God to maintain cleanliness, monotheism, get rid of the idols, humility and patience is in his own life, but also telling the other people. These are all preparations for the revelation of the rest of the message. The next thematic section of Surah Al Mudathir is warning for the unbelievers. Verses 8 and 30. What do you think he was doing in Makkah? Described the rejection of God's words and the excruciating consequences that result. For he that has not been grateful for the bounty of God's blessing and demands more, disregarding the signs and revelations of God. How do we know these signs and revelations of God were sent to Muhammad to preach? No, not only to preach, but to give a strong iron hand. Take up iron, a sword when you have to, and also break their idols. This image of an unbeliever and clean the Kaaba. This no one will directly tell you. The Muslims don't want to tell you directly. We have appointed none other. Okay, this is the last. Anything else about this? So what are we told? We are told that the Homer and Kaswara, um, verses 50 and 51 refer to a scene of Homer, Arabic, asses or donkeys, fleeing from Kaswara, lion, beast of prey, or hunter. If they are such asses, the idol worshippers in Makkah, the wild ass, how would they, he won every time because he's a lion, beast of prey or hunter. The wild ass that inhabited the Arabian Peninsula was of the Syrian subspecies. The lion that inhabited this region, at least the sandy deserts north of the. Okay, a reference to the lion in the region of pilgrimage is in a hadith. Earlier, a title Muhammad, Mudathir, and Mudathar, Africa, Mudassar, and all this. So he's a lion. They were asses running away from a lion. Literally, right? Homer and Kaswara, wild ass. So what does the Quran ayat say? So in Surah Mudathir. This is not disrespect. This is God is speaking on truth. They were like wild asses running away from a lion. So I have to see the truth. Let me see both sides. And then you decide, Baba. Uh, you are going to finish my energy. I'm going to finish my energy searching for truth. I have a headache now because of something. I don't know what. So where shall I go? So another thing is wild animals running away. Yeah, no one has explained to me what this Suratur verse is. No, uh, multilingual. Uh, Maybe the Shias, again, I cannot rely on it, but I have to look at both sides. All sides, in fact, not both sides, all sides. Oh God. Oh goodness, help me, God. My energy. So where was I going? Suratur 48 verse. Suratur 52 chapter of the Quran, verse 48. Let me see what the Shia commentary is. Hmm? And wait patiently for the day of your judgment, for surely you are before you are before our eyes. This is Shakir translation. And sing the praise of your Lord when you rise. Now await in patience the command of thy Lord, for verily thou art in our eyes. Yusuf Ali. No, nothing importance, nothing of importance in our eyes. So no Shia commentary here. But this verse refers to the fundamental rule of all sciences that there is no effect if there is no cause. Gane- Ganache, I'm new here. Oh, welcome. Thank you. Uh, how may I help you? Um, you can check my previous videos and find out. Uh, it's welcome if you're new. What are you searching? What is your interest? Is this your interest? My way is very boring and slow. You'll need a lot of uh, perseverance, willpower to bear with me. How may I help you? I welcome you here and thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you can hear me. And some of my live stream, it just gets cut what I try to say here. So, welcome. I appreciate it that you are here. How may I help you? You need any guidance? You want to ask any questions here? If I'm able to do so, I'll be honored to do so. Oh, you can hear me. Thank you so much. So, did I pronounce your name properly? Ganache? Is it Ganache? And sorry if I didn't. So, thank you for the help. I can very well hear you. Thank you so much for the help. Um, yes, yeah. Thank you so much. So, how um, how may I help you now? I would like to get some feedback from you. Really appreciate it if you can ask me questions now regarding what is under discussion or even something else about Islam. If I'm able to, I will certainly do my best to answer you, tell you how I see it, the Quran verses. What brought you here? As you say, you are new here. What brought you here? Uh, may I know? So, such a grand prophet. So, no commentary on you are in our eyes. Some say, what is be in Arabic? What is that prepositional word be? Be in Arabic. Is it in or is it surely you are, or before? Is it before our eyes? So if it is before our eyes, then Prophet Muhammad is not the manifestation of Allah. If it is in, so I'm on. What brought me here is your claim. Islam is fake. Saying this in public don't get you in trouble. Oh, you are concerned about. Yes, it will get me into trouble. It may have gotten me into some trouble. Yes. Uh, no, I'm not in Karachi. Uh, so you are concerned about me. I'm much grateful for that. How kind of you, how caring and concerned, being concerned of me, of you, how caring of you. I appreciate your care, concern. Um, I'm sorry if I had to, you know, is your brother fine now? I don't know. His phone is off when I called him. So I haven't called him. Uh, I've been here doing things and eating. So today, the last time I called him, his phone was off. Thank you for your concern and care for my brother too. I can see that you've been following me in my live stream, my last one, perhaps. I cannot tell you what it means to me and what kind of a prayer, what wish what may I do for you in return for your care and your kindness and your concern for us. I really don't know. I'm so small. I don't know. But may that true big God give you everything and protect you from everything evil, evil of the time, and all the harm the people can do in this world. May your whole household, may your friends, may your beloveds, may your loved ones be safe and protected. So I pray, but at the same time, we have to uh, have an organization. No, no, don't thank me, really. I should be thanking you. It's so kind of you. I cannot, such a person. I'll start to cry here, break down. And sorry to have troubled you. I pray to your suffering comes to an end. That Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your prayers and your concern. And so uh, you gave me the strength. Let us pray for everyone, each and every human being suffering to come to an end. Amen. Amen. Every human being suffering. Come to an end right now. Right now. Wouldn't that be great? Thank you. Amen. So I know I don't have to thank you for that. You're God sent. You're angelic human being. You're more than an angel. God sent. You're a very special human being, Ganache. You're an extremely special human being. I didn't know. I thought I was going to sleep, but disturbed again. And maybe now you've breathed some peace in me, and I will be sleeping, remembering what you have said and your prayers, your concern, your care. So I sleep knowing that there's one courageous, great person out there who has reached out. Loving ways, kind ways, concerned, caring. So you have saved a life today from drowning in her fears, disturbed, distressed for her brother and herself and what next, and like that. You have done a lot today. Ganache, you have done a lot today. You have saved a life. You have breathed peace into my disturbed, distressed self, and I cannot thank you enough for it. I send you silent prayers. I hope God gives you everything you need whenever you need it. Ya Mujibo, quick, quick and responder. To your every wish. Thanks to God, He is guiding one. Yes, He is guiding one. I'm always there for you, sister. And He has given you the guidance in yourself. If you have love for someone, if you care for someone, one human being, you are a saint. You are the guide. You're teaching me that we have the guide, but I don't know why we suffer and make others suffer when we are the guide and we have this guidance inside us. You have told me, reminded me today also, I'm always there for you, sister. May God always, always, always be there for you and your family members and your loved ones. May He never give you any tests and trials, but make for you a very most beautiful life, most beautiful life, and more. I can feel a positive energy here listening to you, really, but it all came from you. It all came from you. Right now, it came from you. So you should be thanking yourself. I don't even know how to thank you. So thank you for that positive energy that you breathed in me today. And you saved a soul today to breathe well in peace. Someone out there is so great, such a great person who cares. I don't what value you hold in humanity. I cannot tell you, but I hope you know this. And you never forget it. I bow to the divinity in you. You have God in you for sure. So let's, I will make you cry. I can't even cry. My head's hurting. I think I need water. Uh, is this you, me, or we? Isn't it we? We are all in this. Is it I, or is it you, or isn't it we? We together. We in humanity. Oops, I forgot to bring my water bottle here. I'll just have some tea. Let's see if something is left. A few drops of tea. I'll have to get up for water. But anyways, no, no. Um, now I've made people angry also. So I have a cruel streak here. Um, this is terrible, like misguidance. I just cannot stand it. The human sufferance due to misguidance and all this. That's why I'm doing this. So we'll go to, you see, the last time I was saying in my one of the last, second last live stream that this Prophet Muhammad, he himself has broken an oath and prohibited himself what Allah made lawful for him. So if you search like that, like the way I thought about it, the words are very important. So if you say, I found two contradictory ayats, when he has to say Prophet Muhammad with his own mouth, right? God's words, then, believers, what is that ayat? I keep forgetting which surah it's from. Believers, do not prohibit yourselves, make unlawful, let's say, prohibit yourselves, there would be a difference. Prohibit yourself from what Allah has made lawful. So we used to say what great exact words, what good words, proper words are used. Like if you say, believers do not make, do not make unlawful for yourself, but that's not the word to be used, right? So the Shias are going to catch me on that. Believers, do not prohibit yourself from what Allah has made lawful. So if I go to the other ayats, they will catch me and they say no. Those were those who claimed without Allah's permission, they made lawful some things, unlawful some things, without God, without knowing God for themselves. Okay, so another correction to be made, like what God has made lawful, do not prohibit yourself. In other words, it could mean, but it has a slight problem, unlawful. Like, do not forbid yourself what Allah has made lawful for you. So, this is what the Shia religious scholars, Quran experts would try to explain to me. That no, no, you are wrong. You have to be very careful, cautious about the words. Okay, it's in Surah Maidah, verse 87. And then you go to Surah Tahrim. So maybe my Shias now will try to correct me, right? what you said earlier in the live stream was that, O you who have believed, do not prohibit, do not make unlawful the good things which Allah has made lawful to you. There's a difference here. So please be careful how you use the Quran words, right? The Shias will, religious scholars, Quran experts will try to correct me on that. There's a slight difference, but it makes a world of a difference. So I correct myself. I correct myself. Now, in this live stream, if they be coming back and watching me or something, but just that the Shia religious scholars would say, please correct yourself. What do you mean by, no, no, you cannot put it in that way. Do not, see, Yusuf Ali put it in that way. O you who believe, make not unlawful the good things which Allah hath made lawful for you. So you can put me in Yusuf Ali's place. But the Shias are very strict in this way of, Quran experts would say, mind your words, mind the Quran words, and mind what you're saying, because it could make a world of a difference. So how this Quran could words even could deceive us? No, no. They'll say, no, the Quran words are not deceiving us. You are deceiving yourself and you're deceiving us by putting it like Yusuf Ali translated it. So Yusuf Ali is from the Sunni sources. You have to be more exact. What did God say here? Prohibit. In other words, according to Yusuf Ali, loosely put, make not unlawful the good things which Allah hath made lawful for you. Do not forbid yourselves. But the Shias could even get upset with me and say, what are you doing? Saying unlawful. And upset with Yusuf Ali too, but he's no more. He's already translated it like this. So what I'm trying to show you is that whether you put forbid yourself or unlawful, or let's say even you say, okay, not Yusuf Ali, make unlawful, not even Muhammad Sarwar. Believers, do not make unlawful the pure things which God has made lawful for you. Do not transgress. Okay, this part is important of the verse, Surah Maidah verse. So even Muhammad Sarwar puts it this way. Even Mahsin Khan puts it this way. Unlawful. Make not unlawful. This is for the believers. And where is it coming from? The mouth of Prophet Muhammad. All unanimously, all Muslims agree that this is coming from the mouth. Like he's telling the believers, oh believers, when he was communicating at that time to them, it was coming from his mouth. He was admonishing the believers first, and then it came in a book. Believers, do not make unlawful or forbid or prohibit the pure things which God has made lawful for you. Now you see the do not is a command here, is in a commanding form. Even if it is a recital, Prophet Muhammad will have to has told the believers of his time, do not make unlawful. He's conveying the words of Allah or the rules, the command of Allah is that to the believers, He's conveying, do not, makes it do not, a command from Allah. Would you do it as a Muslim or a believer when this ayat has come down, saying, do not, believers, do not? You would not do it. You will not make unlawful or prohibit or uh, forbid the pure things which God has made lawful for you. It's a command not to do it. But so Muhammad Rasulullah himself, Prophet Muhammad is saying it himself. What happens in Surah Tahrim? And it's a command, do not. What happens in Surah Tahrim? O Prophet, why do you prohibit? God is asking the Prophet, why? He doesn't know the circumstances. That he was being annoyed by the wives. He was under duress. Why do you prohibit yourself from what Allah has made lawful for you? Meaning, I have made, but this is the way Allah's. So now he's telling himself, let's say if he's talking to himself, right, about this, it has been naziled, it has been revealed on his heart through Jibril or the trusted spirit. O me, O Prophet, why do you prohibit, meaning make unlawful or forbid what Allah has made lawful for you? Why? But what? Forget the why. Do you prohibit yourself? Why do you prohibit what Allah has made lawful for you? Yourself from is in brackets. Sahih International translation of the Quran ayat. Surah Tahrim ayat 1. O Prophet, why do you forbid what Allah has made lawful for you? Huh? Why? But that's not important right now. Let's concentrate on forbid. Why do you forbid what Allah has made lawful for you? So there's one instance where even the Prophet forbid it, forbid himself, forbid himself, prohibited himself, made unlawful on an oath to his wives. What Allah has made lawful for you. One instance. Oops. Can the same prophet tell the believers, O you who believed, or O you who believe, O you who believe, do not prohibit the good things which Allah has made lawful to you? What would it make him? Because first instance, one time, he prohibited himself from what Allah made lawful, has made lawful for him, has made lawful for him. Would this be a prophet preaching everything he's doing, sincerely preaching? No, he wouldn't. Because someone here has caught him. And this Quran ayats, these two Quran ayats, Surah Tahrim tells us, does he have the right to tell the believers? Do not prohibit the good things and give the commandment of the Lord like this when he himself has not kept the commandment of his Lord, one of them in one instance, one time. Surah Tahrim, we are told. Can he be someone we can trust and follow? What would that make him? Wouldn't it make him a false preacher, a false teacher? Tell me, anyone with some reason, logical deduction, comparison. Two ayats are here in the Quran. One is stating that Prophet Muhammad, the Prophet, and of course we all know unanimously Muslims take it to be Prophet Muhammad there. What did he do? He forbade himself what Allah had made lawful for him. And what is he told here to do or say, to command? O you who have believed, or O you who believe, do not prohibit. How can he say this? Because if you did it like the way he did it, then you have to break it and dissolve. Like if you say, I prohibit myself, right? By Allah, you take an oath. You see, or maybe because, yes, yes. So, what then you may, you see, you have prohibited yourself from what Allah has made lawful, and perhaps you've made an oath to someone like Prophet Muhammad did to his wives, two wives. Then what will happen? Allah has said that you dissolve the oath. Allah is your protector because you have done some haram, what you were not allowed to do. Is this not a command that you have broken? Prophet himself of Allah telling the believers to do it, but he himself has broken it in one instance, right? Would you find him a true teacher, the one who at all times lives up to his testimonies? These two ayats, like if you go to Surah Marriage, stand, keep your oaths, Surah. Do you get it? This is not logically falling into place for us, for me, which I am sharing with you. Would you, let's say, my teacher, she does, she breaks the oath. No, sorry, what is it? She forbids herself what God had allowed, made lawful for her. She comes to me and she says that she's inspired by God and she's speaking God's words to me. She's that teacher, like prophet, like a prophet, right? Rank of a prophet. Or even a teacher. There's this rule in school. In school, there is a rule. Let me give you a better example. Would you not find that teacher false? I can't find an example. If she tells you not to do it, but she herself broke it one time, and she's a teacher, would you trust her? You would be shaken a bit, right? You know about it, that she broke it. She forbade herself. what Allah had made lawful for her. And she's telling me, do not. It's a command, Micah. It's come as a command from the principal. From the principal, Zahra, it has come as a command, or from the board of directors. This is the law, rule of our school, that you do not, do not do this. It is a rule, to not do, do not. It is a command, do not do it. Then she has done it, or she's going to do it. So she herself has done it, or will be doing it later. What does that make her? A hypocrite? Wouldn't your child or me as a student be shaken by it? What? I mean, I would be like, sorry, but the teacher will say, no, no, don't say what. But I'm like shocked. Oh my God. Oh my God, teacher. You told me not to do it. It's a rule, command from the principal, from the board of directors. But you see yourself went and did it. And that's okay. God is your protector for all Muslims. You can even break oaths. Another contractual, what? Another clause comes in. Another clause comes in. But if the Prophet has done it, if the teacher has done it, what she can do is dissolve herself from the oath. And the principal is asking her, oh, teacher, why did you do this? And yet we overlook that. The teacher is true, trustworthy, Ameen. She is the bearer of those commands given to her by the principal as schools of law, the rules of the school. Criminal will wish. Oh goodness. Trying to find that verse where it says, "Don't break your oaths." Like, be mindful of your oaths and um, your promises. Be steadfast in prayer, and those with whose wealth is known aright for the petitioner and the deprived for the need. So tell me now, any logical person, unbiased, logic, without feelings, anything. 1 + 1 equals 2. So taking that ayat, O believers, do not prohibit yourselves what Allah has made lawful for you, the good things. Teacher has to go out and warn all students, O students of this school, O students, do not forbid yourselves what Allah, what our principal has made lawful for you, right? Do not forbid yourselves from what Allah has made lawful for you. Let's take it slowly. Of the good things. You can go play in the playground. So we're playing. Yes, not forbid yourselves from playing. You can play. And then the teacher comes and she says, I won't play. I swear by Allah, I won't play. And she's also allowed because the principal has said, you can go and play. She's also allowed. But she has forbidden herself to play. Let's say there's a playtime for the teachers too, and the students alike. She tells the students not to forbid yourself to play, since Allah has made good things lawful for you. And then there's a teacher's playtime, but she says, no, 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 I'm not going to play. I forbid myself to play. The principal goes to the teacher and says, why do you forbid yourself from what Allah has made lawful for you? What kind of a teacher is she? Tell me, someone. The students are also looking at her when they find out that you told us, do not forbid yourselves this playtime. Play. So we are all playing. And then she goes and says, no, I'm not playing. When the principal has told her not to forbid herself from playing teacher's playtime at on teacher's playtime. Won't you detect some hypocrisy? She is not a person of her own words, like a man of her words, they say, right? Please keep your word. You were told to convey the command of Allah, the principle on us about the rules of the school. And you yourself today have forbidden yourself from what the school and the principal allowed you, made it lawful for you. Why? But what would you think about this teacher? That she should not have done this. I can't find the right words. And those who are to their trusts and promises attentive. Would you find her attentive to her trusts and promises? Even to, huh? How are you going to look at this verse in Surah 70, marriage? This page hasn't loaded properly. 32 verse. 32 verse. And those who are to their trusts and promises attentive, observers. What kind of observers will you be if you fall short of your trust and promises in any time, at any time of your life? Can you be a great teacher, a good, true teacher, true to your trusts and promises? Would you be considered as a true person, a person who is true to their trusts and promises? No. What you did in Surah Tahrim, we are told, and those who are in their testimonies upright, yani shaheed hain. You know what stand for? What do we call Imam Hassan? That's a shahadat, the king of martyrs, right? Stand firm. In their testimonies, in their witness or testimonies, upright, qaim. You know what qaim means? Like always, for all situations, all in all circumstances, they stand firm. They don't back down. They don't duck. They don't falter, no matter what. No matter what their circumstances are, they stand firm. Qaim means that in their testimonies. In their testimonies, be shahadatihim. Now I found be here in their testimonies. So be there in Surah Tur would be in the eyes, in our eyes. The sovereign is saying that Muhammad is in our eyes. Patient, be patient. You are in our eyes. Yeah, be means in. Be also be shahadatan means in your testimonies. Qaim. You know what Qaim is? From the Ayatul Kursi. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allah, there is no God but He, the living, the self subsisting, eternal. Qaim. Standing firm, meaning Qaimuna. Qaimuna. Okay, the E is not pronounced. Qaimun. Qaimun. What will you say? Under all circumstances, no matter what the condition is, what the circumstances, you must stand firm. You see? This ayat says this. And those who carefully maintain their prayer. It doesn't say if you break an oath under some circumstances, like Prophet Muhammad did, you can also do. It doesn't say that. These are some other people. And those who to their trusts and promises are attentive. And those who are in their testimonies upright. Would you see, if now Rasulullah gave a testimony, would you trust him? Because in certain cases, circumstances, he fell under duress, annoyed by his wives. Oops. Where is it? Sorry, excuse me. Where did this go? Okay, those who are in the test. Surah Tahrim, and Surah Ahzab also, where he makes Zaid his adopted son, and God tells him, no, no, change it. So right now I'm on Surah Tahrim. Maybe later I will show you the Surah Ahzab verse. O Prophet, why do you prohibit yourself from what Allah has made lawful for you? Would you trust this Prophet now, from now onwards, to being true to his testimonies? His testimonies, promises. Okay, here would be like, will you trust him to be true to his promises even? While on one hand, I don't know, he tells the believers, and he has what Allah has told him to say to the believers: do not, O believers, do not prohibit yourselves what Allah has made lawful for you. Does he have a face to tell them now? After what here we are told in Surah Tahrim, Ayat 1. O Prophet, why do you prohibit yourself from what Allah has made lawful for you? Seeking to please your wives. But Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful to him. Allah has already ordained for you, Muslims, the dissolution of your oaths. He's leading the Muslims to satanic things, isn't he? Misguiding them. Now you can even dissolve your oaths and go against this ayat of Surah Marriage. You will not even be taking your oaths very, very seriously. There'll be a part in your oaths that doesn't matter, it's just we can expiate for them or we can dissolve our oaths. Depends on what kind of an oath you have taken. And those who are, no, this one, and those who respect their trusts and covenants. Promises, covenants with the people, right? Trust implied those trusts which Allah has entrusted to men, as well as, you see, now you need all these things. Covenant to Allah or covenant with the people, like a contract. Keeping and fulfilling both these kinds of trusts and promises. Likewise, promises imply those promises which man makes with his God, as well as those which one man makes with another. Keeping and fulfilling both these kinds of trusts and promises is a necessary characteristic of a believer. Necessary characteristic of a believer. Don't tell me. Because I can take you to other verses that say you can expiate for your oaths and you can even dissolve Surah Tahrim. What Allah tells Prophet Muhammad to do. In a hadith, Anas has reported that whenever the Prophet addressed his companions, he would always give them the instructions: beware, the one who does not keep his trust has no faith. According to this hadith, I can tell you that the Prophet has no faith. And one who does not fulfill his pledges has no religion. He doesn't even have a religion. Behaki Ash-Shu'ab al-Imam. So I can take you to Surah Azab and tell you. Quran ayats, right? Beware. Remember this then. Keep this in mind. Beware, the one who does not keep his trust has no faith. And the one who does not fulfill his pledges has no religion. Fulfill his pledges. Surah Tahrim. But Allah conveniently comes and tells him, now you can dissolve, all Muslims you can dissolve your oaths. Isn't that hypocrisy here? Don't you see it? Please see it. It's been maybe for me also. I have no energy in a shock. I can't accept what I'm saying. I have to tell myself also. This is a hadith, so. But I can prove to you that this hadith, if Prophet Muhammad has said this, this means he is without, he didn't keep his trust at one time and he didn't keep his pledge at one time with the wives. He didn't keep his trust, meaning with Zed. Zed trusted in him. Okay, a little bit what is required background is that how he made, so I have to take recourse to the commentary. But it will tell you, the Quran ayat itself says that he made a mistake with your, this Z is not your blood. But then why did he have to make Z? It's a life. And you have given him fatherhood. No, you have become a father. Sorry, not given him fatherhood. That would be like he has become a, he couldn't even have a child with Zainab bin Josh, a family. No, no. You have not given him fatherhood with Zainab bin Josh because he and Zainab could not have a child. They had to divorce anyways before. So you have not given Zed fatherhood. You have not been, you stop being a father to Zed. You become his friend, Maula. You can take him as a Maula now. And the Quran ayat itself says, Surah Azab verse 5, that you made a mistake and it's what is in your heart that is important. So if you had taken, look, Zed may not be your, but you took him as an adopted son. And then you look at that part of the ayat where it says in Surah Azab, it's in your intention, in your heart what counts. So from your heart, you took Zed, right? Practice the pagan Arab adoption way as a son. From your heart, you took it. Because God does say what is in your hearts, what you intend is important, not what you say from your mouths. So that reasoning of God that this is just not your blood son. So, but still, God, I have caught him. I've caught God. There's a fallacy there, logical fallacy. It is unjust. If God said, and which he did in Surah Azab, what you intend is important, what is in your heart. He says that when he tries to free him from the mistake he's made. Prophet Muhammad has made a mistake. But when he wants to free him from the pledge, promise he's made by taking Zaid as his adopted son, he says, no, you intend, you see, you from your mouth, what you say, it is nothing. Oh, God. Surah Azab. Sorry. I'm in a terrible condition here. My head is hurting, but I have to go to Surah Azab. I'm gone, case. So here, when he intends to relinquish him from his mistake, see, how shall I say this? He has made and sons your true sons. This one, 4, Ayat 4 of Surah Azab. This is not Surah Tahrim. You see, He has not made you your claimed adopted sons, your true sons. That is merely your saying by your mouths. But Allah says the truth. Allah speaks the truth. This is merely your saying by your mouths, meaning that your blood sons are your blood sons. Good. But here, merely only your words that you utter with your mouths. Then we catch him here. What does Allah say here? And there is no blame upon you for that in which you have erred. By merely saying with your mouth, taking Zaid as your son, right? But only for what your hearts intended. So, of course, it's also the heart that took. Prophet Muhammad must have taken Zaid by the heart, not by merely the mouth. When he took him by the heart as his son, intending to take, then that what counts, right? So here I've got Allah. I've got him. He's lied. You see, fallacy, logical. Read it again. And there is no blame upon you for that in which you have erred, because Prophet Muhammad merely adopting your son, such is only your manner of speech by your mouths. But Allah tells the truth, meaning Allah speaks the truth. Whatever Allah tells is the truth. Your taking Zaid as son, adopted son, is merely a speech by your mouths. But Allah speaks the truth, which Prophet Muhammad did merely by the mouth. And then when you realize, when Allah is saying, and there, when you said merely by your mouth that Zaid is my son, adopted son, Zaid is my son now, adopted, you said it merely by your mouth. There is no blame upon you for that, in which you have erred. Complete the sentence by saying merely with your mouth that Zaid is my adopted son. In the previous ayat, it is stated, but only for what your hearts intended. Now I'm having a wave of confusion. But only for what your hearts intended could also mean that, look, if your heart wouldn't profit, you mean to say even the pagan Arab, even Prophet Muhammad took Zaid from the heart as his adopted son. You see? So it wasn't just merely, that was just to tell the people and to make people, and he took him not by just his mouth. But what is important here is that by the heart he intended to take someone else's son as his own son. Of course, it is from the heart that you intend the truth. But you see what Allah put himself in trouble here. But only for what your hearts intended. If your hearts intended, then you are making an intentional mistake. You have made an intentional mistake. If your heart didn't intend it, then you're making a unintentional mistake. You're not conscious. You're a stupid idiot. Oh, sorry, excuse me. You know what I mean? You no no. You are a deceptive, dishonest. You are with no substance. And thus, according to your own hadith, somewhere put in the Sunni sources, you have no faith and you have no religion. You are an irreligious dog from Jane Eyre, Charlotte Bronte. You are an irreligious dog, wouldn't you say? From your own hadith. I quote, and then I quote from Jane Eyre, Eyre or Eyre or Eyre, Ear, Eyre, Eyre, that you are an irreligious dog. And there is no blame upon you for that in which you have erred. What have you erred in? By taking a adopted son as your own, such is only your manner of speech by your mouths. But Allah tells you the truth. Who has done this? Even practiced by Prophet Muhammad with Z. And then what does Allah say here? Fifth ayat of Surah Azab. And there is no blame upon you for that in which you have erred. Yani, you took your adopted son, you took the son of someone else, made it your son, adopted, which means adopted, by only your speech of mouths. Who is a hypocrite here? And thus it was not even his heart who intended, which intended. Oh, huh? Tell me, who is the hypocrite here? You would be in grave mistake, sin, if you intended it with your heart. Then Allah would not have forgiven you. What did Muhammad do? He took Zaid as his adopted son, merely with the mouth. Forget that blood and Allah speaks the truth because biological. No, no, tell me this way. You see, your way of the Shia way also of making excuses. Shaitan has put a cover on your eyes. When Prophet Muhammad himself could not stand the test of his testimony at one time, how can his grandson Hussein do it in Karbala? Where's the water? Water is life, and I'm thirsty. Take these two ayahs and get the cover out of your brainwashing, emotional blackmailing, and first look at the Quran ayats properly. Are you in a, what do you call that, optical illusion? This shaitan has made you go astray. You see? So take the cover off of that Shia way of thinking that the Imams have brainwashed you with. Quran experts, Shia Quran experts also, you too, so you don't go misguiding the Shias anymore. Now I will not allow you. I will do my thing. That means that not stopping you by force, but I'm stopping you by these live streams and these videos I'm uploading. And for you to come here and see how your pattern of thinking, Shia pattern of thinking, and how the Imams have led you astray, how Prophet Muhammad has led you astray. You can't even see the Quran ayats properly and properly logically. See this. What you will tell me is that Allah speaks the truth, and of course, the adopted son was not the blood son, so he could marry the ex wife of the adopted son. But do you care to investigate, examine these ayats properly, logically? Where the hypocrite is, they say, they used to say when you say, Ya Ali, hypocrites, kya hota hai? Or you're boiling. They come up like bubbles, right? They come up on shore. The name of Ali, you can see, you actually can see those hypocrites. See through them, right? I'm showing you what a hypocrite is popping out here. Not even by saying Ya Ali Madad, I'm saying even Imam Ali misguided you, the son in law and cousin of Prophet Muhammad. And even Sunnis, leave them alone. They're forgotten. Sunni Islam is a forgotten case with me. Now, the major thing to expose and bring out. I don't have the right words. I wish I had my friend Mariam with me. She has the right words, but she said that this and that, okay? You see, they don't respect. If you disrespect, then I cannot come here. But Mariam, let us, you know, come and see this now. The hypocrite is bubbling up. Bubbles are, it's been exposed. He's been exposed here by me, by logic, just by me using sound logic. What do you say? Do you think that my heart, what I've been taught against hypocrisy is that the hypocrites were after Imam Ali, Prophet Muhammad before, and all this, and they'll go into the lowest abyss, and hypocrisy, terrible, 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 worse than kufr and this and that. Hypocrites are the worst enemies of Islam, the true one God. You know, kafirs, atheists, they will leave, but these hypocrites stay here and they try to, from the root. What did my aunt say? Late aunt about hypocrisy. They said, no, no, if you miss your prayer, that doesn't make you a hypocrite in your religion. Uh, but you know what makes you a hypocrite is when you stay in this religion as an enemy of this religion and you try to tear out the roots of this religion. So, what you intend in your heart and the malice you intend, the harm you intend by remaining in this religion, to tear out the roots of true Allah. The Allah may be of the pagans, the religion of the pagans. This is what now he has turned out to be a hypocrite. I'm showing you logically, using logic. So, no. Fifth, I says, no, no, you didn't intend it with your heart. That's okay. So you are forgiven. It was an unintentional mistake, unconscious. And you know who Allah is telling? Prophet Muhammad. Who, this means he wasn't God conscious. This means run away from him. He's a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite. And then we are told Imam Mahdi is going to come. Some crazy man, right? Like him, Prophet Muhammad, hypocrite, dishonest, is going to make himself the son of Imam Hassan Askari come. They're very, very clever people. I've seen them very closely, reading Al-Kafi and all this too. And even the Quran ayats, that how the Shias are brainwashed. Quran experts too, the Shia way of thinking, they've misled you. They've deceived you to no extent. They're hypocrites themselves. I'm trying to save you. I'm not going to follow a hypocrite. He has turned out to be a hypocrite. Logically examining Ayat 4 and 5 of Surah Azab, logically examining and comparing Surah Tahrim, Ayat 1 and 2, and comparing it with Surah Marriage ayats like keep your testimonies and all that, and also comparing it with Surah Maidah ayat. What number? Surah Maidah ayat 87. He's a hypocrite. So I'm not even going to the Sunni school of thought and way of thinking. But sometimes when I have to take hadith, but especially the main thing is the Quran ayats, the way they are stated, written, conveyed. O you who believe, forbid not the good things which Allah hath made unlawful, which Allah hath made lawful for you. O you who believe. Surah Tahrim. Allah has already ordained. O Prophet, why holdest thou to be forbidden that which Allah has made lawful for thee? Remember, it is this Prophet who has to convey to the people this word of Allah, this command of Allah. From Surah Maidah, O you who have believed, do not prohibit the good things. Do not. Remember, it's a command. Prohibit the good things which Allah has made lawful to you. Who is going to convey this? Prophet Muhammad did. On one hand, Prophet Muhammad has to convey to the people, believers. This is believers, not even O people, Nisa, but this is, insan, sorry, not Nisa, people. What are people called in Arabic? O you who have believed, do not prohibit the good things which Allah has made lawful to you. While what I did here in Surah Tahrim, O Prophet, why holdest thou to be forbidden that which Allah has made lawful to thee? Would you go, Shias, would you go to Al-Qawiya's commentary or any commentary after this, Shia even? You wouldn't. I hope I've explained myself clearly. If there needs to be in other words, again and again, again and again, myself too, to admonish, show myself exposed as hypocrite. मुझे कोई शौक थोड़ी है था risking my life and all this. There's a death penalty on me. So I'll have to come back and do it again. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will remember. I hope I have to do a screenshot because sometimes the live chat goes away when I. So this is really saving. I'm saving your. Sometimes the live chat it goes away. Someone is here. Someone who cares. Someone who is a saint. Is God sent. Someone who called me a sister. Someone who prayed for me, cared for my brother. I think I will now have tea on that, on Ganache, what he said. So beautiful. Uh, Good people out there. They're good. I'll keep repeating this and I'll rest on this and have wonderful tea, mug of tea. Thank you so much. I will. And I cannot say how grateful I am, really. Ganache, I cannot say. And those who are here who really care for the truth. Thank you so much. And I cannot even say thank you. God bless you and your families forever and ever with Himself. You are divine. Claim the divinity.